Arts. Please welcome Tapsee Pannu to the stage. This session is going to be moderated by Uday Pratap Singh, Editor NewsX.
Thank you so much to our viewers for staying with us, and welcome back to those of our viewers just joining us on our NewsX We Women Want and Shakti Awards 2024. And we are with the Entertainer of the Year. Yes, of course, the star that's being awarded today for excellence in entertainment, and she truly deserves it. She's someone who, of course, has wowed everyone with her talent and performances, and all her contemporaries agree to that, as well as we were just hearing from Kritika Kamra earlier as well. Tapsee Pannu, welcome. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Uday, for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Let me begin by asking you, it's the NewsX Shakti Award. So for you, Tapsee, where have you derived and where do you continue to derive your Shakti from?
I'll give you an example. Because I can't give a generic answer to this. All I'll say is when I was in transit yesterday at airport, I was just sitting and having my meal. There was a lady who was next to me who was like, "Are you Tapsee Pannu?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she sat with me and she narrated how the films that she's seen of me made her take some really important decisions in her life, to derive courage to take a stand for herself and for her kids, for the partner who couldn't live up to her expectations and left her in amidst things. And she decided to take control of her life in her own hands, and today is CEO of a company. And that was one of a few interactions I've had with women who walked up to me and spoken to me about how they have followed my choices and derived courage to take up such important steps in their life, courtesy what they saw me doing probably on screen and the kind of odd decisions I end up taking off screen. That was too heavy a compliment, which I told her then and there, saying that, this probably validates and makes me take the courage of taking all those odd decisions I have taken for most of my career and life, because this is where I derive my strength from. So this is what really gives me the strength to keep doing what I'm doing every day.
Let's have an applause for that impact that Tapsee has had, and I'm sure many of our audience members agree with that, and that's what.
And it is very odd actually, Uday, because at these moments I don't know if I have to say thank you, because they're obviously trying to compliment me, or say I'm so sorry that you had to go through it. So it's a very odd situation to be in at that time. But I realize the kind of responsibility I hold and the kind of impact I can possibly have on these women, which makes me feel all the hard work is validated because of such compliments.
And do such compliments there put a bit of pressure on you, or give you that responsibility as well for your future choices that you make as an actor in the roles that you choose, and also a producer now, which you are yourself?
Yes, they do. And I realized this responsibility way too early in my career when I did Pink itself. I think from there onwards, I had the sense of responsibility, because people did walk up to me and say things which made me feel like I think I'm being watched very seriously by these women, young, old, both. So I do have this sense of responsibility and do take it seriously.
Today, in fact, one of our panelists was saying that they said, the film industry has this responsibility as well for women empowerment. And when she was saying that, mere man mein bas pink hi chal raha tha. Waqai mein, I'll be honest with you. No means no. You know. But as far as, of course, for you, awards as well, because you're being awarded one today. But rewards are, of course, audience appreciation, like the one you just said. Awards की महत्व का महत्व क्या है तापसी के लिए?
I say two things. First is awards are very subjective, because there's a bunch of jury members who decide that you are worth of a certain title or no, and it's a decision of that bunch. Okay, it can vary from person to person. And the second thing I say, award shows are TV shows. They also have to validate the TRPs. So it also has to come with, are you really selling on television or no? So there's this part 1 and part 2 of that answer. It's up to you which one you want to take in.
Do you believe then that some film awards are facing a bit of a credibility crisis?
No, of course they are, because see, the thing is, they are shows. They need to get sponsors. There's a lot of money that goes in organizing those awards. There need to be certain moments created on stage. There needs to be certain moments created off stage, or with the kind of gathering that makes a person feel excited about watching that show on television. So there's it's entertainment. A lot of money has gone in putting up that show. So getting someone who's probably off-screen life is not that exciting, or is not that exciting a personality to be seen on stage, they wouldn't mind not having that person, even if that person has done a great job on screen, because they are purely television shows first, and then everything else. And that's okay. I mean, the day you accept this, life will be easier.
There's another title. Today, of course, we've given you one title, as I was saying earlier, NewsX Shakti Award. But एक और title है जो कुछ लोग आपको देते हैं, that is alternative. You're smiling because a lot of titles are given to you often, but I'm talking about the alternative box office queen. इस title के बारे में क्या कहेंगे आप?
See, the thing is, anything that's not conventional becomes alternative, right? So, yeah, conventional things I did try, but I don't think they're meant to be, and I accepted that very quickly because it was not working. I realized whenever I've taken the step against the tide is when it has really shown me results. So might as well accept it, and it comes naturally to me. Something that's obvious and conventional, somehow it doesn't fall in my head at the right place. So it's okay. It's just that when people think of something odd or something which is not conventional, instantly my name comes into their mind, be it even as a maker or as an audience. When they know they're watching my film, they know that it can't be so simple. It cannot be so obvious. And same as with a maker who comes up to me and offers me something. It's like, if it's too simple and obvious, we will not go to her, because either she'll not accept it, or it's not really worth having someone like her. It would rather actually harm the film to have her, because people will expect something to turn and it won't, and it will probably harm the film.
Also, as far as, of course, another fact of yours is concerned, and how do you react to that? The fact that, you have done so many, women-oriented films, as they're called, and many have, of course, in the industry, but you are perhaps the only one who had a sequel as well.
Yeah.
That's quite an achievement, isn't it?
And
what's your take on sequels?
Actually, I would want to give this credit to someone like, say, a Rani Mukherjee as well, who had a Mardani 2, a successful part 1 and 2. And I'm so privileged and happy to be in sort of a category where I could actually have a successful sequel as well. Very rare opportunity for women. Usually we are the ones who are replaced in a sequel. Franchise के अंदर hero same रहता है, heroine change जाती है. So we are usually that easily changeable gender. But then some of us are lucky like this, maybe because we probably over the years invested in those kind of roles and films where we've conveyed that we are not easily replaceable. So I guess uske jo fruits hain, eventually you get in form of a film like Haseen Dilruba, which has a sequel, which probably will have another part to it. So yeah, it was a long years of hard work and patience of doing these kind of characters that I eventually could get this kind of franchise.
And then, you have, of course, a Fir Aayi Haseen Dilruba, and the same, vicinity you have Khel Khel Mein as well.
Yeah.
What explains that?
See, that was Khel Khel Mein came out of nowhere for people who probably have seen me in more intense cinema before. They never thought that I had any funny bone in me. So I guess they were people. I'm still getting message because it's strange. Khel Khel Mein probably not spinning some amazing box office numbers, but it's still running in theaters. So if a film is not really good, no theater would want to really run it for so many weeks. It's been more than 8 weeks. It released on August 15th. It's still in theaters in metro cities, and it's on Netflix as well. So it's very strange that I don't really feel I can call this kind of a film a failure when it has sustained in theaters in spite of so many other films releasing. So I find it as a huge success for a film like that, and I got to play a very, very